The experts have gathered and they have determined whether or not our housing market will crash. We're going to talk about it on Today in Mortgages. Hey, what's up, Dreammakers? Welcome back to the show where we're trying to break down what's real and what's hype in today's mortgage and real estate news. I got Rich Jefferson here with me to discuss, and today we are looking at an article out of Barron's. There's a paywall on this, but we have linked it below. You can get one free article if you sign up for their site, but we're going to talk about it today because there's a lot of good stuff in there that is just kind of a macroeconomic look at what the housing industry is doing. So, Rich, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Michael. How are you?
I'm so good, man. Thanks for asking. So we're going to jump straight into this because we have a lot on the docket. And really what I'm going to do today is just go through several quotes and have you react to them because basically this was a gathering of minds of industry leaders, investment leaders in the housing space. And so some big names here that you might recognize, but they got together and discussed, and it's recorded in this article. So first quote is from Mark Zandi. He's the chief economist at Moody's Analytics. And he said, first-time home buyers are really locked out in this market. Existing homeowners with mortgages are effectively locked into their homes. Investors have gone to the sidelines, so they certainly cannot digest the current mortgage rates, given the current high housing prices and where incomes are. Rich, break that down for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's more of an inventory issue, but what we saw over the pandemic was the rise in prices for homes. Yep. Everybody wanted a home, so there's only so much inventory, so the demand drove the prices really far up. I mean, you just see it by our Fannie and Freddie conventional max loan amounts now allowed. So, I mean, they're up there. I mean, what are we, 726, 200? That's a large conventional loan. And we're doing a lot of loans for first-time home buyers. I mean, the benefit of the inflation and what happened during the pandemic is pay is up. So a lot of people are, especially millennials, they're jumping job to job because everybody needs new workers and they're getting raises when they do that. So they're making more money and they're able to afford more homes today than they did in 2019 and 18. So while, yes, there's an affordability issue, we're not able to touch all first-time home buyers, but there's a lot of activity with first-time home buyers right now.
I'm going to jump into the second quote. This one's from Bill Smead. He's the chief investment officer at Smead Capital Management. His quote says, there has always been a close connection between the 10-year treasury note and mortgage rates. And that close connection has run maybe 150, 175 basis points at where mortgage rates are right now. That's way higher relative to the 10-year treasury note. When it was 7% on the mortgage rate, and a 4.25% on the 10-year treasury yield. And that's an outlandish spread, he says. So, Rich, tell us what that spread means to our business, just to people who might not understand it.
So I'm close to 30 years in this business, and I've always looked at the 10-year. That was like my lighthouse. I could see where rates were. And, over the past 3 years, it's done wacky things. The spread between the 10-year and your street price is so wide now, and that's mainly the cost of funds. And when, these banks used to borrow from each other or from the feds at, 0 to 25 basis points in interest rate, well, then, the spread is less. But when it's more expensive, the spread between the 10-year and the street price of a mortgage gets way bigger.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rich, but this big spread is kind of to hedge their risk. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, they're basically, it's like they're pricing in loan loss reserves for things that may or may not happen down the road, but they have to have the reserves to recover for it.
Hopefully what happens later down the line is when these rates stabilize, it's not going up and down so much and such big swings every day. This spread will tighten a little bit and pricing will become a little bit more affordable. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, totally. and I'm looking forward to that day.
Yeah,
It's coming. We're
All
getting
right.
a little taste of it every single day right now.
All right, we'll move on to the next quote. This one's from Carl Reichart Jr. The quote says, right now, new homes make up about 1 in every 4 or 5 homes on the market. Normally, that's 1 in 10. Rich is talking about new homes going on the market versus existing homes. Talk a little bit about that.
90% of all homeowners have an interest rate at or below 5%. Of that 90%, 50% of those have an interest rate at 3.5 or lower. So those homeowners are not selling because their interest rate, because if they were to buy up or go buy down, it's still, they're not going to be much payment savings because of the difference in the interest rate. So right now, everybody's kind of hunkered down and staying in their properties, including baby boomers. So, which is a key demographic right now. We need our boomers to sell homes, and they're aging in place, they're living longer, and it's going to be a while.
Yeah, and with new housing starts having been pretty low, even though they have a bigger market share right now, there is just so few homes hitting the market in general right now that it is making it really tough for buyers, still keeping prices high, even though there's not a lot of transactions happening. So super weird market right now. This is a great article. If you have a chance to go check it out, it is something that I recommend. There's a lot more in here that we didn't discuss. So, Rich, before we rate this article, I'm going to take a quick break and remind everybody about our free resource out there that you can go and check out. It's at todayinmortgages.com/marketing. And what that's going to do is give you 5 concrete actions with step-by-step guide on how you can market yourself better in Q2 of this year to set you guys up for success moving forward. This is something that we do with our own people, and it's something that you can check out for free right now at todayinmortgages.com/marketing. Rich, we had a pretty dense article. It's a really long one. If you guys go check it out, I know you got a chance to look at it. How would you rate this article? Scale of 0 to 5.
It's good. It's 5. It's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, tons of facts. Some of the things, though, that weren't written in there, I mentioned the baby boomers and they're aging in place and not selling their homes. Fannie Mae still estimates that over the next 10 or 12 years that there's going to be 16 to 18 million baby boomers selling their homes. So that's a lot of inventory that we really need in the market. And so it's going to happen. It happens. We're just in that period right now, and we're going to get through it just like we do every time.
Yeah, so many things happening right now. New home builds are, picking back up. Like you just mentioned, baby boomers are going to be selling. Foreclosures, fortunately or unfortunately, that's going to go up probably this year. So it's just going to be a changing market. So get out there, keep hitting the streets and selling and making sure that you're in front of your buyers, giving them every opportunity that they can to know about new listings when they come up. So, Rich, any final thoughts on this article before we sign off today?
No, that's it. It's a good article. I recommend it. You should probably dig in and kind of get a good understanding of it.
Yeah. At the very least, like, share, comment on this show. Let us know what you think about it and share with a friend so that you can help them understand the market as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. That's all we got today. We'll see you next time on Today in Mortgages. Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2297. The content of this program is meant to be a commentary on mortgage and real estate news, and any discussion of rates and or products should not be taken as individual mortgage or home buying advice or and other legal information. Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is equal